No chemicals or preservatives, just 100% honest to goodness hickory smoked meat.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Boy, some chicken wings have really hit the spot.
You ain't got no better food like some chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something?
It has just two guys talking, am I right? Who's just talking?
Hey, howdy, hey. I think I came in too early.
I liked it.
But, welcome to another episode of Fat Guys with Smokers. I'm Mike here with John. Excited to be here in the pit, talking about stuff we love. The weather needs to turn, dude. I want to be out. I want to be smoking.
You know it's bad when UDOT is making jokes about second winter.
Yeah. Yeah. You know it's coming.
Maybe it wasn't UDOT. I think it was UHP. It was the Highway Patrol.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I guess there were some gnarly accidents this weekend.
It got crazy. But the time is upon us pretty soon. Hopefully we'll be outside every day.
Let's go, Punxsutawney. Don't let us down.
That stupid groundhog's full of crap, man.
I know. It's been brutal.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's kind of nice today.
Yeah, it has been really nice.
It's supposed to be nice tomorrow. But then it's supposed to crap all over the place.
Yeah, then we're supposed to get some more nastiness.
Although we're complaining about it. We need the moisture.
Yeah, that's true.
But the real story on the weather, have you heard about California? Part of the mountains in California are supposed to get like between 4 and 10 feet this weekend.
Holy cow, of snow?
Yeah.
Dude, they've been getting pounded all year. Wasn't
Yeah.
there like a atmospheric river or something that went through there and just dumped all over them?
Yeah, Tahoe, Mammoth is getting nuts. There's actually a bunch of the like professional skiers and snowboarders that normally train in Park City.
Uh-huh.
Like we're not having a bad snow year.
No.
Last year it was
good.
Insane. We're actually not that far behind last year.
Yeah, I've seen that we're above average for sure.
Yeah, we're above average. We're like 100 inches behind last year, and I think we got like almost 300 inches in March last year.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that March is usually the peak time for ski resorts.
But anyways, a lot of the people that train in Park City are headed to California because it's just wild.
Well, that's fair. We don't want them here anyway.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't want to live somewhere where I have to shovel my roof.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's my standard.
That's fair. I did do that last year. I made a little roof shoveler. It got sketchy.
Did you really?
Yeah, just took some sheet metal and like bent it in like a 90 degree and hooked it to the end of a really long PVC pipe and just kind of went up and then I did not think it was going to work. And so I started like pushing it up my roof.
And it comes shooting
And it just
down
comes
at
shooting
you.
down in like bricks. And I was like, whoa. It was pretty gnarly, actually.
I thought about doing it. I never actually did it on mine.
It was mostly for fun. I think my roof was okay, but it was mostly for fun. And it worked.
Well, I mean, I had 3 feet of snow on my roof.
Yeah, for sure.
It was wild.
For sure.
Wild is the word of the night.
Indeed. My wife says I use phenomenal too much on the podcast. It's like you never say that in real life, so I'm going to try not to say that much.
At least your wife listens to the podcast.
Oh, Haley, be better.
I know. There have been a couple of times where we've talked about something on the podcast and then I've said something about it, as my children would say, IRL. I'm learning all sorts of new vernacular.
Heck yeah.
And Haley's like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, good to know you're up on the podcast, sweetheart.
Rude. Tell her if she doesn't listen, she's coming on again. Because I know that's her worst fear.
She hates coming on.
She did not enjoy it. I thought it was delightful, but...
Hey, the people love it.
Yep. They do. They get after the wives, man.
I think we need to have another wives episode now that you say that.
100%. Should see if we can bring them in the pit somehow. I guess that'd be hard because we'd have to share mics.
No, we could do it.
I bet we could make it work.
I mean, we've got another mic,
Yeah, that's true.
and I know where I can get a fourth one.
Oh. Shoot. All right. Food for thought, people.
Food for thought.
Stay tuned.
If you want the wives, hit us in the comments. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe right down there. So, with that, we've got some fun stuff today.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a little different.
It is. Let's hit it with a shout out though. So let's jump over here to the IG. Mike, tell us about Michigan Barbecue Addicts.
I'm pretty excited about this guy. And Walter J. Johnston is what his Instagram says his name is. But he seems like a man after our own heart. Big old dude. Has a shirt that says "Never Trust a Skinny Chef," but he does some cool stuff. He does like this series on his Instagram where he will roll dice, and that determines what he's gonna do. So he'll like roll dice for meat, and then roll dice for what, I don't know. Apparently, somebody did it with sandwiches, and so he did it for barbecue. Yeah, roll for barbecue right here.
Go.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you're not, go check it out on YouTube. But he rolls dice, and then that determines meat, rub, binder, all the things. It looks kind of fun. So
It does. This looks like. What are these dice for? What's that game?
I don't know.
Dungeons and Dragons. That's what
Oh,
it
is that what it is?
I don't know. That's just the only thing I know that you use those crazy dice for. But what is he doing? Bologna.
Oh, in chunks, like burn ends bologna or something.
Burnt ends bologna.
That's awesome.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
anyway, check out his stuff. Michigan Barbecue Addicts. He's got some funny videos, but he's also got some pretty. It seems like down to earthish stuff. I feel like sometimes people just do crazy stuff that is kind of unrealistic, but he does, some pretty good looking normal stuff. So, also apparently a big Dungeons and Dragons guy.
I don't know. Maybe you use those things for other games.
I'm into
I
it.
am not a D&D master by any means.
Mm-hmm.
So check him out. Yeah, I'm excited to follow him and learn a little bit more about him.
See what he does. The videos, I mean, obviously I haven't been through every video. He's posted a lot of stuff, but his stuff's hilarious and his stuff looks pretty yummy. So
Cool. Well, let's we've got a new segment.
we do. What are we going to call this? We need a clever name.
We do need a clever name. From Beyond the Pit.
Oh,
Oh,
that's deep. I don't know if I can handle that.
I don't know. So every once in a while, we get a question to the Instagram or on YouTube or wherever the question comes.
And we'd love to get more, P.S.
Lots more. But we thought it'd be fun to do some voicemails.
Yeah.
So we're going to try one tonight. Had someone reach out to us about an interesting methodology for cleaning their grill.
Yeah.
And with that, let's play the voicemail and then we'll talk about this.
Yep.
I almost feel like we need like a. This feels like an old radio show where you'd call in and like leave a voicemail and then the host would talk about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Need an old-timey, like...
K, this is 99.9 K Smoke. You're on the air.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Guess they wouldn't say that. Swell, fellas. Let's go ahead and get a listen.
We could have been DJs in another life,
Dude,
Mike.
totally.
Here we go.
Hey, John and Mike. I have a quick question regarding pellet grill cleaning. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I have a Pit Boss Austin XL that I've been using for about 10 years and probably over 1,500 hours of cook time. My first time doing a big cook, probably the year 2016, I was cooking some cheap, fatty ground beef patties. My grill was recently cleaned before this cook, but after about the third rack of these fatty patties, my grill caught fire. I turned off the feeder and kept the door closed to try and snuff it out. There was a lot of smoke, and if I opened the door, it would engulf right away with huge flames. And the temperatures, they were hitting over probably 800 degrees. After the fire went out and cooled down, I noticed something. All the grease in the bottom of my smoker had burned away, and all I had left was char and ash that was easily vacuumed up. We all know how annoying it is to clean out the grease from the smoker. So now, after every fatty meat cooked, whether it be burgers or bacon, or after a while of smoking, I'll turn up the heat after the cook and let the grease catch fire until it burns off. Usually it's a small fire and it's not out of control at all. Temperatures generally are around 400 to 500 degrees. And it's expected instead of unexpected. And I watch it to make sure it doesn't get out of control. I haven't noticed any negative side effects. The meat still tastes great and it cuts my cleaning time down dramatically. So my question to you is, have I found the ultimate grill cleaning life hack, or am I quote unquote playing with fire? Thanks, guys.
Well, Mike.
First of all, I just want to say how grateful we are, Demeron, for your question / comments. And for your repeated listening of our podcast. I have some concerns. I mean, he's been doing it, so obviously it's working okay for him. This sounds terrifying to me.
Yeah, I was gonna go no names on this, but since we've outed
Oh
him,
shoot! Sorry, Demeron. Awkward.
no, I too have concerns, and I think he used some subtle words that I don't know if he intended to or not, but it usually doesn't get out of control. I think it's a.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think it's a roll of the dice.
That's an important clarifying word.
Like it's great, and I think it goes back to like the tool you're using.
Yeah.
Because I've done something similar with my gas grill. Like I've let grease burn off. I've never gone as far as like letting it ignite, but I've letting it carbonize, and then it's easy just to scrape off the grates and be done. I think the challenge that you run into is you don't have an easy way to shut the fuel off like you do on a gas grill.
Yeah, he mentioned he turned the pellets off. How do you do that? Like, how do you just make sure
I think
that nothing's going to sneak in there?
He just like shuts it off. So it's not that he's clearing the auger. He's just like
keeping it from feeding more.
Yeah, he's just powering down the grill, which like I get it. I think I know like the thought process behind it. I would worry about when it's not usually and it does get away from you.
Yeah. Grease fires can be a little sketchy.
Yeah, grease fires are hard
sure.
to manage, and
yeah,
it's not like you can just throw water on it and it all goes away. Grease fires are messy to deal with. And I also worry about just like the creosote buildup in the grill. Like anytime you have flame, you're going to have residue.
Yeah.
So,
see, that's what concerns me. If I don't clean my grill and then I do like try to do maybe a hotter and faster type of deal, it always just gets nasty in there.
yeah.
Like just like a film on everything, and it's not.
Yeah. It maybe he's wiping it down. Maybe he's taking extra steps there.
Well, and maybe if you let it all burn out,
I guess that's true. I've never
not a
burned
thing.
it long enough.
Yeah, see, it's in the process of burning when I'm freaking out and trying to fix it.
Yeah. So, I don't think you found the ultimate cheat code to grill cleaning, Demeron. I think you're, if it's working for you, man, like party on, keep it going. But I think it's a little bit of a roll of the dice every time you do it. My hack is and we've talked about this. Like, I think one of the first things you buy when you get a grill is one of those really wide 18-inch heavy-duty rolls of foil from Costco or Sam's Club.
Mm-hmm.
And I cover my drip pan with that every time. So when I do a big greasy cook, all I got to do is pull that foil off and put a new one down, and
it's all cleaned up and ready to go.
Yeah, and then I try and vacuum, every time I cook. I've got a little vacuum that's dedicated to my smokers.
Yeah, that's what I need to get a little vacuum. I remember when we talked about that, thinking, oh, I need to do that.
Yeah, so the bucket, what do they call it? Home Depot has one called a bucket head, that it's literally a shop vac head that snaps onto a 5-gallon bucket. I had one of those for years. It started to crap out, and I mean, I left it outside sometimes. It didn't live outside, but sometimes I'd forget about it and it'd get rained on. But I had that for a number of years, and then recently I bought a little, I think it's like a 3.5-gallon shop vac at Harbor Freight that was on sale. And
Is it a dedicated like dust vacuum, or is it just a regular vacuum? Because I feel like I saw something called, maybe it's ash vacuum is what I saw. I don't know.
Yeah, so mine's just a shop vac. Like people use them for car detailing, cleaning up in the garage, whatever they're gonna do. Mine just happens to be dedicated to my smokers.
Does it have a filter in it?
It does. I want to say this one. It's got one of the bag filters.
Okay.
So it's not like my big shop vac that has like a big filter cartridge in it.
See, that's what I have, and then when I use that I'll use that to vacuum out my drum, and that, I mean, granted, the drum, because I'm using charcoal and a lot of times briquettes, it's usually like super fine ash powder, and so I'll vacuum it up, but it plugs up that filter, and then it is just kind of a mess. So I'm wondering if there's a better way.
Here we go. Marvels of technology. This is, for those of you on YouTube, this is what I've got. It is a Bauer 3-gallon, 3-peak horsepower wet dry vacuum.
And it just has the bag filter in it. And it doesn't get like clogged up or anything. Huh. If there are any wives listening to this that are wondering what to get their husband for their birthday, this might be it.
Let's see here.
I like the portability. Like, I'll drag my shop back up onto my deck, and it's not a huge deal, but I like super convenient and small and interesting.
Yeah, that's this little blue thing right there. That's the filter.
Does it come? Do you just replace that sometimes when it gets really clogged? Do you think?
I never once replaced it on my bucket head. I just like take it out and shake it.
Yeah,
and it was.
That's what I've been doing with my canister.
Let me. I'm gonna do you a solid right here, Mike. Messages. Whitney.
Well done.
Listen to the podcast for the reason.
I support it.
That's true friendship right there, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad that works for Deborah, but I would have a hard time. I don't know. Maybe we just need to try it and just see. But with my luck, a grease fire is just going to get out of control. And
I am moderately risk averse in most things that I do in my life.
That's weird.
I mean, I played with plenty of matches as a kid. I've been grounded for it before.
Sure.
But where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
And
well said.
so.
Well said. But I'm glad it works. That's great. I don't know that I will adopt said strategy, but,
Yeah. Let's talk about something else that works.
Okay.
Party ribs.
Dude.
I'm always a little bit offended and a little bit jealous because the way I find out about what you're cooking is my phone starts going off with, somebody's liked your reel. Somebody's liked your... I'm like, I haven't posted. Oh, it's Fat Guys. What? Oh, Mike made ribs.
I'm sorry. I totally should have brought you some because they were bomb. But
it's okay.
My kids
I did
them.
I did a pork shoulder and I didn't share with you. So
no, that's fair. That's fair. We have an agreement, I feel like. If something is completely outrageously good, then we share it. Otherwise, we keep it with our families. That's fine. Yeah, dude, I did party ribs.
I feel like the party ribs meet the description of what you just
You are
described.
100% correct, and I have dug myself into a hole. But I'm just going to explain my way out with what I did. So
Look, it's fine. I'm just going to hold it against Hallie for eating my share of the ribs.
that's fair. And she pounded it.
Did
so
she?
that
I
is
love
fair.
that.
Yeah.
I love when little kids pound.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, party ribs. So the whole idea is you take a rack of ribs. I remove the membrane. I've seen some people online that don't remove the membrane. I don't know if there's a difference at that point, but I took it off.
Always remove the membrane, period.
I think so. It makes more sense to me. So remove the membrane. I did not use a binder. I've seen people use a binder and stuff, but I used just Killer Hogs. The barbecue rub is what I used, and just kind of dusted it on there, and tried to kind of just get it. Oh no, I didn't. I used Barrel and Branch, Memphis style barbecue rub, which I'll be honest is basically the same thing as the barbecue rub.
It's funny how many of the AP rubs are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I did use that. And just kind of coated all sides. And I feel like that is the advantage to the party rib, is instead of just the top and the bottom, all sides build some bark, all sides get coated.
I mean, it's the same reason, why you crosshatch a ham or you crosshatch a pork shoulder, surface area.
Yeah,
surface area,
exactly.
surface area, surface area.
Exactly. And so anyway, cover the whole thing. I didn't use a binder. I let them hang out for a minute, and then I used my Vortex on my Weber. I have not grilled ribs before. I usually just low and slow in the smoker. But I used the Vortex, and it was great. I feel like I left them on a little bit too long because they were a little bit, not charred at the end, but just well done, you know. So the little bit of meat on the sides was not as good.
How long did they go for?
90 minutes, which...
That's wicked fast for ribs.
Right, exactly, which is one of the things. And again, I think I left them on a little bit too long. So I would say you could probably get away with an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Crazy. Yeah. Because I did ribs, what was that, for the Super Bowl? Is that
Yeah,
when
I
did
think
ribs?
that's what you said, yeah.
I mean, I was 6 hours.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
all
kind
day
of what
long.
you do. So...
That's super cool.
As far as time, I'm into it because although I love a good low and slow rib, like an hour and 15 minutes, that's awesome.
That's like a weeknight rib.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. I went home from church and was like, I guess we'll try this. And we had them for lunch. It was awesome.
Weeknight ribs.
Do it. So I just put them on Vortex. If you don't know, we've talked about it before, but the Vortex is like a dome that you put in the middle of your charcoal kettle.
It's like a volcano.
Yeah, volcano of... I mean, it just channels the heat, hits the dome, and kind of falls around. Kind of creates a bit of a...
Convection of it.
Convection, yeah. I've done wings with it. I'm a big fan. But, so I did that. I turned the ribs I think I ended up doing it about every half hour. My plan was to do it every 15 minutes. And then I got distracted. So I turned them about every half hour or so just to keep them from burning if there are any hot spots. And I should do this, but I don't. When you use that Vortex, I twist my kettle lid so that the daisy wheel kind of changes 90 degrees every 15 minutes. I did try to do that just to kind of channel the heat, make sure there's no hot spots.
What'd you call it?
A daisy wheel? Isn't that what it's called?
That's what the vent's called?
I don't know. I thought so.
I have no idea. I'm not... I just didn't
You're
know what
making
it
me
was called. I
question
thought it was
everything
just
I
a
know.
vent. I'm looking. You're fine. Keep telling
All
the
right,
story.
I'll let you look. It'll be quicker than my phone. So yeah. And then I glazed them. I just made a quick barbecue sauce. I had just a cheap, I think it was Bullseye barbecue sauce in my fridge. So I just used that and kind of warmed it up, put a little butter in there, and then I just glazed the ribs. I just used a brush. I've seen people that will just do these low and slow, like on the smoker. They still go a little faster, but they'll throw them all together in a foil pan with like a few cubes of butter and some brown sugar, just like you would ribs when you wrap them.
Yeah, it's almost like burnt end style.
Yeah, exactly, and just kind of let them go like that. I did not do that, and I thought they were fantastic. I can't say phenomenal anymore. But they were really good, and they were tasty, and they were fast. And it was great. If I could do it again, I'd watch it a little closer. I had a lot going on, so I'd just kind of set a timer on my phone, watch them a little closer, and just make sure they didn't go too far. I did pull them off when they were, I think they made it to like 205, and I think that was a little bit too much. They were a little bit dry at the thinner parts, but it was pretty tasty. So, what are you learning?
The tab turn on the lid vent is a large and matches the large turn tabs on the bowl vent or daisy wheels. Hang on, sorry. I tried to read the summary from the page and that just didn't work.
Oh.
All right.
It's called a daisy wheel, isn't it?
The turn tab on the lid vent is large and matches the turn tabs on the bowl vents or daisy wheels. Okay, so the ones on the bottom are called daisy wheels. Maybe
All
the
right.
ones on top are called daisy wheels too. I didn't know that.
That's
I learned
fair.
something.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, it would have been nice to do that at like 9 a.m. instead of 9 p.m. so I could have checked that box on my day earlier.
Sure.
But,
Well, you know what? Well, carry it over, man. There's no reason why your learning has to stop. I don't know. I got nothing. Anyway, party ribs for the win. I am interested to kind of do it burn end style and just see if there's a difference. But I'll be honest. Again, I know a lot of people just cook ribs on the grill. I've never done it before. I've always just smoked them low and slow. But I'm a big fan. It was pretty tasty, and the speed at which they cooked made it, I think that was the best part, honestly. Under 2 hours for some pretty good ribs. I will say, sorry, I swallowed a weird, like, gulp before we started recording, and I can't clear my throat now, so I think I might be dying.
Well, then I'm going to send Whitney a different recommendation for your birthday because I already have one of those.
What was I going to say? Oh, they are very rich. You don't realize when you do cover everything in whatever rub you're using, it makes every bite like, oh, wow, which is great. But I'm used to throwing down like a half a rack or more of ribs. After 2 or 3, and I don't know if it's just the salt or the sugar that's on the rub, but it was like, oh, I gotta take a little break.
So maybe go light on the seasoning.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I just went a little too heavy. But when it's covering the whole thing, it's a lot, which is good.
Yeah, that's cool. On this last round of ribs I did mine extra saucy, extra messy, because I normally I really like dry ribs without any sauce on them. But yeah, I did that, and I think that's part of the overload of flavors.
Yeah.
Like, they're really good, but I mean, yeah, I ate like 3 or 4, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, give me a minute. Let my body realize what just happened to it. But yeah, they were good. I can see why they would be really popular as like an appetizer, a party food, because it only takes 1 or 2, and it's delicious, but, you know, I don't know that you would sit down for Sunday dinner with half a rack of party ribs and enjoy it quite as much as you would like just finger food, you know?
I hear that, but I also know how many wings I can eat.
That's true. Very similar to the wing, so.
I haven't had wings in so long.
Dude, we should do wings.
We should do
I
wings.
think I still have one. Macy's had them on sale. And I've done a couple sets, and they've been divine.
I always have wings in my freezer.
Do you?
The
I
bag
will
of-
always now, because they're pretty cheap when they go on sale.
Well, that, and I I go lazy and buy the like frozen bag of wings at Costco.
Oh, I've never done that.
Yeah.
Right on.
And you can even cook those from frozen.
Really?
Says so right on the bag.
Really? You just toss them on? Are they like flash frozen or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right on.
Yup. They're pretty fantastic. So, well, Mike, do you want to learn one other thing completely unrelated to barbecue?
Yes.
But I feel like it's very much a fat guy thing.
I like it. I love to learn.
And my phone's dead, so I can't validate this.
I'll try to validate while you talk.
Well, I know what the word is, and I think it's in Sweden.
Oh.
They have a phrase for going back to bed or laying around in bed after you wake up. You know that? Like Saturday morning when you don't have to run your kids all over the place, or they choose not to come jump in your bed and ask for breakfast. They just go downstairs like good kids and turn on cartoons, and their older brother gets some cereal, and, you know. That ever happened for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't happen for me anymore. But if it did, that is called Herkle-Durkle.
Herkle-Durkle.
Herkle-Durkling.
Herkle-Durkling.
Herkle-Durkling is laying around in bed.
I love that.
And now, we've all learned something for the day.
There you go.
And I can pleasantly say, I'm John.
And I'm Herkle-Durkle Mike.
We're fat guys with smokers. Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of fat guys with smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.